And we're back, filming from a brand new location. Speaking of the location, it's got a fascinating history, one stretching back many decades. So let's go through it, start to finish. Actually, before I begin, you know what this explanation needs?
Ladies and gentlemen, jazz.
There we go. The Empire State site is at the west side of 5th Avenue between 33rd and 34th Street, with the space originally being occupied by the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. The plot of land was acquired by the Empire State Group, that commissioned plans for the skyscraper from the Sherv, Lamb, and Harmon Group, an architectural company that designed many buildings around New York and the United States as a whole. Fun fact, the design of the building was changed around 15 times until the design was ensuring that it would be the world's tallest building. The building itself stands at 1,453 feet and about 8 9/16 inches, including its 203-foot spire. Contracted out to the Starlett brothers in Aiken and primarily financed by Raskob and Pierre Dupont, with a tight completion schedule and construction beginning before the plans were finalized. Construction began with about 300 men working in 12-hour shifts to dig a 50-foot deep hole around the site in order to create the foundation for the concrete footings to support the almost 10 million pound building without it falling apart. The steel itself was a prefabricated design and shipped on site with specs anticipating a rewrite of the city's building code to provide for 18,000 psi on the structural steel. The scale of the project is just ridiculous, even by today's standard, with almost 3,500 workers on the project, with a single day of August 14th in 1930 having an all-time record of almost 3,439 people on site. A total of 66 elevator cars had to be ordered, made, and installed, as many elevators, or large elevator cabins, were deemed infeasible for the time. Wild stuff. On May 1st, 1931, 45 days and $20 million in the 1930s, under budget, the dream, the building officially opened and stood as a marvel of American progress and optimism for a brighter future. An opening featuring even the President of the United States, Herbert Hoover, who was given a special ceremonial button which he pressed all the way back in DC that ignited the tower and let it glimmer and tower over the New York City skyline. However, upon the gleaming tower, not all that glittered was gold. I'd like to focus on two of what I consider to be the biggest problems. As per the original design, the spire at the top of the Empire State was originally supposed to be a docking port for airships. However, due to updrafts from the tower itself, and the very concept of the dirigible being flawed, this was deemed unfeasible and was mostly kept as an artistic choice. However, an airship did manage to deliver mail there once. Their future was sealed, regardless of how cool they were. Nowadays, the spire is a massive broadcasting antenna, allowing for connection all over the city. Despite the aggressive marketing, the stylish and luxurious exterior and interior, multiple appearances in movies and TV, and the fact that this was the tallest building in the world at the time, the building broke even for the first time around the 1950s, roughly 20 years after it was built. Despite this turnaround, the building was eventually sold for a grand total of about $50 million. The Empire State has been retrofitted and has had many renovations over the years, with the most recent being a restoration of the spire and the subsequent mooring docks, completed in 2019. As for the future comes, it's important to preserve the building as it is for future generations and all that, but I'd like to humbly propose my own refit.